All right, let's start with some breaking inputs which have just come in this morning, where former Finance Minister of India, P. Chidambaram's son, Karti Chidambaram, has been arrested by the CBI in a case of money laundering. Now, the agency has alleged that Karti Chidambaram had actually received money from a media company for using his influence to manipulate a tax probe against it in a clear case of violation of the Foreign Investment Promotion Board conditions to receive investments from Mauritius. Now, yesterday, a Delhi court had also sent Karti Chidambaram's chartered accountant, Bhaskaran, and he had been arrested in the money laundering case and had been sent to 14 days of judicial custody. The CBI had filed the FIR against Karti Chidambaram on charges of criminal conspiracy, cheating, receiving illegal gratification, influencing public servants, and also criminal misconduct. All right, so these are the charges on basis of which Karti Chidambaram has been arrested by the CBI this morning in Chennai. And for more on this and what this actually means and what will be the political implications of such a high-profile case, we're joined in by our political affairs editor, Kartikeya Sharma, over the phone line. Kartikeya, this was something that was expected, but this will, of course, have far-reaching consequences politically.
Oh, absolutely. This will have far-reaching consequences politically for the simple fact that Karti is son of former Home Minister, former Finance Minister, P. Chidambaram. P. Chidambaram was minister in UPA for 10 straight years.
Right.
Now, Chidambaram not only played a part in the government, but was a very important organizational person, policy maker. He had been part of the Cabinet Committee of Security, Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs. But I think the issue here is that what the charge which CBI has done is that the entity which has been mentioned is a media company which at that point of time was under now arrested and jailed Peter Indrani Mukherjee.
Right.
So the INX media at that point of time was part of the Peter Indrani empire. Now the charge is that certain funding took place because Karti Chidambaram was involved and a cut was taken by him.
Right.
So basic charge is that the Karti took a cut. Now, this case was opened after NDA came to power. Now, Karti has been saying that, he's a political scapegoat.
Right.
Congress has been saying that he is being targeted just because he's son of former finance minister. And the Congress has been, now my understanding is that the political fallback would be that you have arrested a person, Karti, who is already living in India, but Nirav Modi and other people actually looted the banks and went away.
That's true.
So, this controversy will fall into a different trajectory altogether.
And also, Kartikeya, how do you see this impacting the political trajectory, let me say, of P. Chidambaram? Now, the case pertains to what happened in the year 2007 for the receipts of funds by the INX media. And do you think Chidambaram will now play a victim card, saying that this is essentially just politically motivated a charge, or is this a charge that is now going to stick with P. Chidambaram as well?
I think P. Chidambaram has already played the victim's card. Chidambaram is going to play this victim card even more. The whole position taken by Chidambaram is that he is being victimized. Now, that is for the people to decide, because you see, in any political case or a case like this, the counter charges and charges can be made of victimization. But this is not a small episode. This will have its own political life, as it's a case of corruption. Charges have been made. The case will be fought in the courts. That will depend on the prosecution and defense. Ultimately, court has their view on the matter. Like, for example, if you look at the case of 2G, despite public opinion and everything, Raja was acquitted by the court.
Absolutely.
The matter will be now going to the High Court. So, ultimately depends on the way courts behave on a story. But in this story, right now, what they have done is that they have arrested son of former finance minister, who also happens to be Rajya Sabha member. So it will bound to have serious political repercussions.
Absolutely, indeed. And also, Kartikeya, if you could try help for our viewers' benefit, make them understand as to what is the involvement of Karti Chidambaram in this case.
See, the basic charge against Karti Chidambaram in context of this entity is that he funneled money for certain transactions. Quid pro quo took place, and quid pro quo involved only for the simple reason, for the only fact that he was finance minister's son, and he was calling all the shots.
Right.
And for this reason that the quid pro quo transferring of money took place, illegally the money was brought in and funneled outside. And this happened because of the influence of his partner.
Absolutely, indeed. We'll have to leave there. Thank you very much indeed, Karti Sharma, for having joined us and got us all those updates. So this, of course, is a case of far-reaching political consequences in a major development. The son of the former finance minister and the former home minister of India, P. Chidambaram's son, Karti Chidambaram, has been arrested from his residence in Chennai. And it'll be interesting to see as to how this case unfolds.